Rakdos Sacrifice affinity. I think you still call this affinity because you've got Imskir, and this is, you know, very much a Pinnacle Emissary deck. But Obsessive Pursuit has been so good. We actually played against another affinity player who was playing Grixis instead of Rakdos. I like Rakdos a lot. I really think that Rottenmouth Viper is better than Kappa Cannoneer in this deck because it's so good with Pursuit and weapons. It's so powerful with these cards. Um and sorry, Magic Online's lagging. And then I also think that Imskir is very strong as well. Imskir is kind of like better than Thoughtcast, you know, or it would be better than Thought Monitor would be. Not that these decks usually play Thought Monitor anymore, but Imskir is very strong. I think it's a little bit underrated. But Pursuit has been so good. Pursuit has been so good to flood the board with artifacts. It goes crazy with Rottenmouth Viper because it counts for each permanent you sack this turn. It a lot of times just ends up being a nice way to draw cards when you're flooding in your affinity deck. It also just even works with like Urza Saga, Mishra's Bauble, the fetch lands that we're playing in the deck, engineered explosives. Like it doesn't just need Rottenmouth Viper to work. That being said, we do have another way to trigger Pursuit now, which is Salvage Titan. Salvage Titan been seeing a good bit of play in other affinity builds. I think it's better in this build than in Is It Affinity because of the Obsessive Pursuit synergies here. So we're playing two Salvage Titans. I ended up cutting the Peter Parker's camera, since I feel like the pursuits give you a lot more grind than you had, so you need to grind a little bit less. And I got the first copy of Memnite. At first glance, you might think that Memnite is better than Ornithopter, but you want to be putting counters from Pursuit onto Ornithopter sometimes, so that ends up being enough of an upside instead. And then also you get to play like just more payoffs in this deck because you have you just have so many like cards that flood the board with artifacts. But you have 12 with Pursuit, weapons, and Pinnacle Emissary. I'm liking the sideboard. The sideboard's still the same. Yeah, I've been really liking 4 copies of Imskir. Again, we played one league with this deck on Friday between rounds of the tournament of the challenge. You might have missed it. We trophied with it. Deck looked great. You know, it is an affinity variant, so like sometimes you need to get just like a bigger array of reps because if you're just drawing well and you're gonna win no matter what. But I really have liked this build a lot. So we can go 1, 2, 3. Cast the drum. Cast the drum. This hand has a lot of potential. I think I'm going to keep it. Would you play Washington and Jeskai Blink or another card like Ragavan or a better option? I think Ragavan's the best one drop in Jeskai Blink. Ooh, interesting. Maybe they're a Basim deck. Maybe an Asmo deck somehow. Okay, so we're going to play the Pursuit turn 1. Perfect. Kind of, or maybe not the perfect draw, but a good draw. No, dude. No! Why can I just have been on the play, huh? Unable to scream! Well, not looking so good. Yeah, totally able to scream more like. Well, we're pretty cooked. I'll take like one more draw step. I guess we could have played the turn on Pursuit anyways. We only had 1 mana. Okay, I yield. Maybe should have mulliganed. I think I like keeping it on the draw on average. So they're like Gabs, Mono Blue, once you talk control, they're just playing the Verge to be able to dismember sometimes. There's not really much downside. Yeah, I don't think I want to be really caring to like kill their creatures, I suppose. I think we're bringing a Needle for engineered explosives over the Nihil Spellbomb and click submit. Not sure if they play it. Could also name Field Ruin, could name Flip Tomio. Yeah, well, let's keep this one. No spell pierces this time, huh? So I guess we hold this Ornithopter for Pinnacle Emissary / weapons. And then we probably save the Bauble for the Obsessive Pursuit trigger. Not really that big a deal, but come on, dude. Let me resolve a Mox Opal. All right, so we have 3, I guess 4 artifacts next turn. Next turn is 5. So we're going to be technically a little bit short of Imskir next turn, so I think we're okay to just go ahead and sack this and start getting counters on the Ornithopter. Yeah, Pursuit is much better in Modern than it is in Standard with all the baubles and fetch lands. Okay, that's nice. A little fragile, but nice. Yeah, definitely just gonna play the weapons first here. Interesting that it resolved. Their deck is definitely not super good at getting permanents off the field. Don't really care if they Hercules recall too, because we've got 2 enchantments in play. Okay, yeah. It's like, this is kind of like net positive on artifacts for me, right? Yeah. Really bad Hercules recall. All right, so down to 14. So what's nice about casting the Rottenmouth Viper is even if they have a counter spell, we get to kill the Tamio. That being said, Imskir is 2 mana, draw 3. I think it makes sense to cast the Imskir before we go for the Viper. Oh, sorry, it's 3 mana, draw 2, but I think it still makes sense to try to cast this before we go for the Viper, because maybe this means this will resolve. Although I guess they just don't have counter magic. And we draw a second Viper, so next turn is going to go really crazy, because we can haste both Vipers, I think. Oh, I guess we would need one more source of colored mana. So they finally find land 3, or I guess not finally, just after a turn. My Imskir is now unable to scream. It is an artifact. A little bit relevant. I drew another one. Block, they made ninjutsu stuff in. I mean, I was assuming I guess sure, they might ninjutsu something. Doesn't seem all that likely based on like my impression of their list. But yeah, they might not be playing Gab's list, you're right. Alright, so it's probably better for me to not haste the Viper. Also, am I gonna die if I cast this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? I'm gonna take 3. So I think it's okay. So take 3, draw 3, down to 5. Interesting. So I guess now we get to go. I'm gonna make sure that the drum resolves. If I tap the Blood Crypt to caps the drum, and then it's just a disaster if I can't also Viper. Although I guess can I double Viper now? Yeah, I guess we'll just double Viper instead of playing the Emissary at all. Seems like we can at least. I need to leave an Ornithopter in play, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to leave an Ornithopter in play. So I can gain a bunch of life. Off the Obsessive Pursuit. Probably sack a clue token here. And then let's go ahead and sack 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Viper also doesn't get Hercules recalled. What do they ninjutsu? I mean, they're not playing ninjutsu in their deck, but just it's technically possible, I guess. All right, so we're going to go up to 16. They're going to go down to 3. We've got 2 Rottenmouth Vipers in play. There's like no card they can have. So we go to game 3 on the draw. We told a player from 2014 this was a finite deficit stroke. People still don't believe in the Viper despite being so insane with these cards. Wasn't there a lot with Haste to Viper? Yeah, so I'm playing around Counter Magic by just playing 2 Vipers instead. It's like we win the game anyways, but we might. This line is just a lot better if they have Subtlety or Flare or something like that. All right, game 3. Pretty sure I've heard why you see just like Blood Fountain. What's the reason? It does nothing. It's like it's just kind of a blank card mostly. It's about as close to a blank card as it gets. All right, keeping this on the draw for game 3. It's like nothing, 2 artifacts in play, and that's just not so good. Let's lead on the drum. What if there's a guaranteed lethal without shooting Tommy at all? I mean, killing the board is also guaranteed lethal in this matchup, whatever that is. It's like they just can't come back very well. Maybe that's not the right attitude, but that was my attitude, I guess. All right, I think I'm just gonna play a Pursuit this turn. So if we draw a land, we'll go Emissary, Lavaspur Boots, Pursuit probably, maybe weapons first. So we draw a second Viper, which isn't also all that good. I think I'll play Pursuit just because it takes longer to get online, even though I feel like maybe it's better to play weapons because it's more of a priority to resolve. Yeah, the meta's just pretty solid for Storm. It has been for a bit. Yeah, we might just get counterspell locked this game, I guess. We have 5 cards in their hand. Alright, so we'll see if our Pinnacle Emissary resolves, I guess. Interesting that they let it resolve. They pitch Force of Negation on Tamiyo. So the question is, do I explosives now for an extra 1/1 right now, or do I wait for the weapons? I think I should just wait for the weapons. EE on 1. Could EE on 1. The thing is that we just have the weapons in our hand. I feel like I kind of want to save it for that, but will the weapons resolve? I just don't know. Alright, sacks include main phase. I think I'm actually going to Pinnacle Emissary this turn. It's more mana efficient than playing the weapons, and I might get around something like a snare or a Force of Negation. If they're unable to scream it, at least it's still an artifact. Is Cub just a green combo card at this point? It always has been. I guess we played it in like one like Ice Tail value deck, but it's been like a Yawgmoth card and its own kind of combo card. Does Emissary have flying? It does not have flying, no. Oh, this is the Aquaman or whatever. I think this card sucks. Every custom blue spell, if it's a creature, gets +1 till end of turn. Beginning of your end step, untap, it becomes a land. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a ramp spell. It's my first time seeing it in action, I suppose. Alright, so let's cast weapons. Unless I feel like I'm wanting to haste a Viper. I don't think I'm wanting to try to haste a Viper this turn. So there's another snare that they were very eager to play. So it looks like we can play Imskir. We have 6 artifacts. Oh, sorry. Probably want to tap the Emissary so I can triple block the Tamio. Draws a card in response. Nice. Imskir's been so good. I do think this card is quite underrated. Like we had a chatter who was like, "You're playing 4 Imskir?" You know, I think this card has just been quite good for us. All right, so they're drawing a land next turn. Can attack for 1 now. Get a little bit punished for tapping the Emissary, but if the Imskir resolved, you probably can't be too upset overall. Do you enjoy 2025 with Opal unbanned? Or did I enjoy it with unbanned? I mean, Opal being unbanned was a big part of me enjoying Modern post MH3. I really enjoyed the dynamic of Modern being more about classic iconic cards, battling against the busted MH3 cards, and sometimes combining with it in interesting ways. I think that 2025 was a much better year for Modern than 2024, which was one of the worst years, I think. So what's kind of fun about this is if they ever find Hurkyl's Recall, this is an artifact now, so this comes back to my hand. Although I might chump this. I think I'm not going to because of. I mean, I also just have the Vipers and stuff. 6 mana. Is this Wan Shitong? Wan Shitong draw 2. Krang is probably better than Imskir later on. I don't know what Krang is. O'Reilly, Everett O'Reilly, thank you for the resub. Hope you're doing well. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 artifacts. Seems kind of hard to not draw 4 cards here, but maybe it's better to draw 5, huh? Get punished for not jumping last turn, by the way. Doesn't really seem like they've got a lot of interaction. I don't know that I'm gonna play this Emissary. I guess I can play the first Emissary kind of freely. I just really want to haste at least 1 Viper here. I guess I could maybe I have this wrong though. Maybe I should go haste this Emissary and just cast 3 Vipers. And that way I just get to play everything this turn while they're tapped low. Maybe it's overcommitting into recall, but then I would have 3 Vipers in play instead of 2. So how could that be really overplaying into recall, right? Also, it's really fun that the Salvage Titan is basically free because I have 3 Pinnacle Emissaries in play. I can haste 1, or I can play. Oh no, sorry, I don't know why I thought this drum let me play 3. Okay, sorry, I guess I should have just hasted 1. Whatever. For some reason, I thought the drum let me play the 3rd one. So I guess we get to hold the drum for next turn, or the second opal for next turn in case they recall me. And I probably want to not attack with this emissary in case they recall me. Oh, sorry, no, I need to play the other opal to. I need to play the other opal to cast the other Viper done. So I should have sacked this opal. Sorry, I'm making some little mistakes here. Again, it's not super likely to matter, I guess, but Wait, they discarded a Quantum Riddler instead of sacking a clue token? That doesn't make a lot of sense. All right, so we'll go, I think just sacking 6 or 5 tokens. Sorry, yeah, 5 tokens. Playing around recall to the best of our ability. And then I guess we did the Field of Ruin plus Hercule's recall. We send Imskir here, and I guess they just have they have a free block. So this kills the Tamio, but I lose this Pinnacle Emissary, which is kind of awkward for next turn potentially, because I might not have a blocker if they recall. I guess I'll just do this then. Oh wait, I guess I'm dead to Hydro. No, I'm not dead to Hydro Man because I've got the Vipers. You forgot to sack the top tokens. It just can't matter though, because I'm not attacking with these because of the Tamio anyways. All right, so they got 3 cards in their hand. Cool turn. They plus the Tamio. They play another Tamio. Then they warp a Riddler. They'll flip this Tamio. So the sequencing was wrong then, right? There's just not, I guess, unless they really want the other Tamio plus. Feels like, I guess that maybe that's what they want. It was, I don't think it might have been possible to play 3 Vipers. It was, but then I went for an Imskir instead, right? Or did I draw the third? It was possible to haste a Viper that turn though, and then play a second one. For some reason, I thought that the line I was taking let me play the third one, but I thought the drum let me do that, but it didn't. So the unable to scream a Salvage Titan instead of a Viper, which is like this can't be the right move. There's no way. So you can't leave this as a creature, I suppose. All right, so thankfully we don't get Hercules recalled. It's just a spot where Capricorn wins, but Viper doesn't yet. Well, I think that Viper is like clearly much better on this board because we are like so dead to Hercules recall, and we're beating everything that's not Hercules recall, and Viper is like a card that doesn't get recalled. So in my opinion, the Viper is clearly much better in this game for whatever that's worth. Not that I'm saying for sure Viper is always better, but I would say that this is certainly a spot where Viper is better. Okay, do I go to combat first? Attacking them with both seems kind of interesting. They get shrunk down to 4 power, though. So I've got double trigger, or 4 total triggers, which is like a total of 16 damage. Let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. So this is not enough for me to... It's not enough for me to weapons, emissary, and viper. I'm going to be 1 short. I could go maybe weapons, salvage titan. Then viper and deal 2 damage to something. Alright, I think I'm just going to attack them. Yeah, Viper's also like much better with like weapons and pursuit for whatever that's worth. Ah, dress down. Okay. So I guess now we attack the Tamium. And then maybe I guess we'll just go weapons plus Pinnacle Emissary since we can haste this next turn anyways. And we want to haste it next turn so we get 2 counters on this trigger instead of just 1. You just hit the tokens too. Well, there's 2 Tamio plus 1 activation, so they're -1 power if we send those as well. Oh no, I need this to block this guy. Maybe I'm tapping out of too many blockers if I cast the Emissary, actually. Yeah, maybe. 2 blockers should be fine. Although maybe it's better. I mean, this can block this. I don't know. Kind of close. I could also Salvage Titan, I guess. I'm not going to get the Emissary tokens from Salvage Titan, though. I feel like maybe waiting next turn's better. They're going to have removal for 2 blockers. I don't know. Oh, wait, hold on. Why did I get another drone token? Oh, no, I tapped the other drone token. -3 into +2 blockers sounds relatively harmless. Well, okay, -3 into +2 blockers sounds hard. I guess I'm confused what that means. I want to kill Tomio so they can't draw Hercule's Recall off Consider, or Hercule's Recall, put Hercule's Recall back into their hand. So here they found the Recall, and I'm dead. Sorry, I'm dead because I didn't leave a Viper back to block or replay a Viper. And I can't, and this doesn't kill this. Dang, what a crazy game to lose. They also had the Hall of the Storm Giants. Yeah, I guess it was I just not supposed to attack. Tough game. Very tough game. Right, keeping this 7 on the play. The Surveil on the off the Mire is going to really influence what our turn 2 looks like, I guess. Is there a world you can weaponize Hercule's Recall with munitions? There's not really a world where that's better than just explosives for the most part. We've had this conversation a lot post Edge of Eternity. All right, so let's go for the weapons this turn. Now they're not gonna have much counter magic. I think that am I ever gonna want a second chump blocker here? Seems kind of unlikely. I think it should be fine to play though. Save this in case we draw Emissary and other weapons though. Or just maybe just not to give them info that this is part of our plan. Get Claws on board now. They just, there's like, what's the reason? They don't have counter magic, they don't have discard spells. It doesn't seem like there's any purpose. But if I'm missing something, let me know. All right, best draw is Viper. I think I'll go and jump once here. I guess the other weapons never is going to be the move here. I do think I'm interested in playing Pursuit this turn, maybe. No, I think we'll do that next turn. We also get the Saga sacrifice trigger for the Pursuit next turn if that's relevant. What do you have to do to get me to brew with Alice post Lorwyn? Watch the stream, I guess. I'm planning on it. I don't know if necessarily have a big belief in it, but we'll be trying it. Alright, so second Steel Cutter is definitely how they can contend in this kind of game. Let's go ahead and kill this before they can flash back the Lava Dart. Totally okay if they Lava Dart to kill the Ornithopter. Which they do. Which does mean I can't, like, Pursuit onto a creature this turn unless I somehow Lavaspur Boots. So I guess I'm just going to get an Ornithopter. I think I'd like to just get the Pursuit into play. So they plot a Slickshot show off. It's obviously a good sign for us here. I guess we play patiently still. Yeah, Avatar was a great set for Modern. You can check the box field, find all the decks we've been playing, but a lot of good cards. We're playing right now Obsessive Pursuit in this deck. Alright, so they have Show Off plotted. They've got 2 cards in their hand. They plot a second Show Off. Let's go ahead and cycle this Spellbomb. I guess this was worse than sacking a Clue, huh? Not a big deal. I might even want to claw something. Probably not right now, though. Draw a drum. Pretty free to play, I guess. Interesting that they are casting this before they're casting the other Show Off. Possibly was right to just go kill, kill, kill before the iteration resolved. They flip over a Lightning Bolt here. Then they play the other Show Off. Then they Lightning Bolt me. I think it's okay to just let this resolve and not plan to kill a Monk token right now. I like the kill, kill, kill line, but I'm lazy. Well, yeah, the problem is mutagenic growth, right? So I guess what we should be doing is going block here. They bolt me again. So let's see if they have mutagenic growth. Wrong token almost. So let's see if they have mutagenic growth as their last card. And then right now I'm at 10 life from the claws, and then this would be 10 plus 2. Or sorry, 10 8 plus 3 is 11. So I could double munitions this, or I could kill the Slickshot Show Off with the claws and go to 12. I think I'm just dead to mutagenic growth as the last card either way. And so I think I like actually just killing the Slickshot Show Off instead, because this means that I'm gonna go to 1, but then I'm gonna gain a bunch of life off the oh wait. That's okay. I can claws in response to the pursuit trigger. Yeah, I can claws in response to the pursuit trigger. It's fun for the 1 life to be so relevant. Thankfully, the last card is not mutagenic growth. Okay, so we need to go claws here. Then we go to 2, then we go back down to 1. Float a mana. Probably getting Mox Opal. Could get another Ornithopter. Could get a Lavaspur Boot or Vexing Bauble. Vexing Bauble seems okay. I guess I like that the Ornithopter taps to the drum. Kind of funny. We're just gonna sack clues for life. Can't do that often. I can also play this Blood Crypt for 1 more counter on the Ornithopter, so it's basically minus. I guess it would be like life total even, because we gain 1 life off the clue and 1 life off the life link. But I think this will be fine. So they've got 1 card in their hand. We are up to 9 life points. They do have 2 Quarry Steel Cutters in play, so we could still die. Quarry Steel Cutter is so insane. One of their 2 cards is Scalding Target. They also have the Fiery Islet in play. They go down to 7. Then they sack the Islet. So they're all in on killing me this turn, because now they're pretty dead next turn. Channeler. Okay, I guess this could block. Okay, 2 channelers. So we keep battling. So we're taking 4 damage down to 5. Getting this lifelink again would obviously be a pretty big deal. We're down to 4 off the pursuit trigger. Let's see what we draw. Mox Opal's pretty good. So if I play a weapons, I can go weapons, sack 3 things to claws, kill a channeler, or I guess killing 2 monk tokens is better. Then we get to gain a lot of life. Very weird game. Just Opal, we kill both channelers. Well, channelers are 3/3s, and these sure deal 2 damage. So I don't know how we kill both of them. Yeah, you probably think the clue tokens and munitions, huh? Okay, so we win that game. Let's bring in the Shadowspear. Maybe keep the Nihil Spellbomb. Let's see, maybe cut a different card. Probably cut an Imskir. It's probably a fine swap. Oh, the Dismembers could be good. I think 1 Dismember is I kind of like more than Imskir 4. Maybe 2 over Salvage Titan 2. Yeah, kind of weird. I think I like it. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. Is this a turn 1 Viper? It looks like a turn 1 Viper to me. Might not be. Looks like it should be. Yeah, I don't think Whipflare is very good against Prowess. It's not a card I, at the very least, have like had success with in the matchup. I guess it's too late to try to. We could. This would enter tap, so we could never turn 1 haste. They might bolt my emissary. Hopefully they don't. Could possibly be better to just wait a turn and then haste the Viper. It's probably better to still do this. Alright, so they lose 4. Let's see what they're drawing for turn. Well, maybe cracking the Bauble's bad because we maybe can't play the Emissary next turn. They surveil on their upkeep? What the hell? Too stunned by my turn 1 Viper to remember to crack their fetch into turn. Wait, did they respond to the Bauble with the crack fetch? They did, so we got to see that they drew Mountain too. Very odd. Bummer to lose to that recall game 3 against the mono blue deck. Sure, I think we keep it. Could also just sack some Baubles maybes. We're talking about Hercule's recall. We lost to him in round 1. So the thing, I don't think that this Abigail Death Shadow thing is going to be super good. It might end up being good. We'll see. It might be, but the thing is, I don't like that if you give your Shadow lifelink, you could never play a second Death Shadow. You are locked in on this single copy of Death Shadow winning you the game, which maybe it will often enough, but that's kind of my big concern. Okay, maybe we want explosives on 1. Let me see what my top card is. Yeah, let's play explosives on 1 here. I think I'll also just go ahead and cycle my other baubles. So yeah. The problem is like it's also like not something you're doing turn 2. It's like a turn 4 play. But I don't think it's not. I don't think it's just something we shouldn't be considering or thinking about. It just does seem to have like a big structural problem of if you ever attack with an Abigail Death Shadow or whatever this card is called, and you give it lifelink, and you have a 13/13 flying first strike lifelinker. That is very powerful, but it also means you are not going to be able to play another Death Shadow the rest of the game, probably. So that's just kind of the one big issue I see. In addition to also like being weak to creature removal in general, and Death Shadow not being that good of a card. So like that's also an issue. But again, it's not like you just can't do that. All right. I wonder if I play the Pursuit this turn. Obviously, it'll depend a lot on what we draw. Other explosives is kind of interesting. Maybe I should have just mulliganed. Let's crack the explosives this turn. Don't love it. Is it awkward that you still have to aggro out a Death Shadow? Also, does it synergize with other creatures? It's still awkward that you have to aggro? Yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah, that's another thing is I don't really know that this card plays well with any other creatures. It doesn't really seem like it does it? But I haven't done like a deep dive on other things this card can combo with. There has to be better creatures with downside you can move the text box from. Literally none come to mind, but there could be some. But it's also like, is this gonna be better to combo it with than Dress Down? Usually Dress Down ends up being better. So if I pop this now, then they just play the Ragavan. I guess that's not really that bad. Might even explosives the Ragavan. But this is a pretty good Blood Moon against us. Blood Moon not all that good against us overall. Another thing too is like as cool as this synergy is it, how much better is it than playing a Guide of Souls and an Ocelot Pride? Maybe it is better. Kind of good against Guide of Souls, Ocelot Pride. Okay, so let's bring in the Shadowspear, let's bring in the Whipflares. Cut the Vexing Bauble. Never cut the Lavaspur Boots even when you bring in the Shadowspear. I think I'm gonna cut the Salvage Titans. I want a Nihil Spellbomb. I think I should cut a top end, maybe an Imskir. Are they gonna have Clarion Conquerors against me? And if they do, how much do we care about Clarion Conqueror? We care at least a little bit. Don't care that much, I guess. Why not sack the explosives after the moon? They get the Ocelot Pride trigger. I did sack it after the moon, but you mean on their instep. The thing is they get the Ocelot Pride trigger. Yeah, the combo is very telegraphed and weak to removal for sure. It's interesting though. I'm not trying to completely shit on it, but I do like this hand. This might be a turn 3 hasty Imskir plus Viper after we sack a bunch of munition tokens. Guide of Pride. Alright, nice. Just did not really want to see a Ragavan that turn. Alright, don't want a second one. Really just kind of want any 0 maybe. So this is going to give us 4 artifacts in play. I will be able to haste a Viper next turn, even without this Bauble pretty comfortably. So I think I'll sack the Bauble to try to find another 0 to keep churning with the weapons a bit. It would really go a long way to draw another one. You gotta mount it on top there. Thing in the ice, enters with no counters without a text box. That's the thing is this card, it targets a creature that's already in play, so it would still have... I think it could never transform, and then it would still have the counters too. So hopefully they just play like an Ajani. Having not played Bauble that much, is there reason to wait for upkeep? Usually you do upkeep because of Thoughtseize. In this matchup, it doesn't really matter. That's an interesting draw. I guess it's not really that helpful because we already have the Arena of Glory. So this costs 4. So we're going to go for the Rottenmouth Viper. Guess we are hasting. 1, 2, 3. Hasting off the arena so I don't have to sack the Lavaspur Boots. I guess I couldn't sack the Lavaspur Boots to give it haste with Lavaspur Boots, huh? It's wild how much better arena is than the rest of the cycle. I think Woodland is like close to on par with arena, if not just on par. It's like a big part of Titan and like a lot of it's just that land's pretty crazy. All right, so they lose 4. So they're gonna be going to at least 8. They're gonna have to discard at least 1 card here. Unless they get randomly solituded. Better than Kappa Cannoneer. They discard 2 cards. Glad they already used their Celestial Purge, I guess. Alright, go to game 3 on the draw. Let's go. No green mana for pursuits. Saga Shadowspear does not solo these creature decks like I used to, huh? So let's keep this. I guess we put back the second copy of Bloodstained Mire. Snake is an elemental. Can we try getting some 3-mana Nissa triggers? We have built this Rottenmouth Viper. I was thinking about also playing Pursuit in that build. It got kind of weird when I was working on it. They flip over an Ornithopter, which would have been a really, really good draw for me. Lands versus Artifact comes out hard. Well, if in the Nissa build, you're not an Artifact deck. You're just sacking like Seasoned Pyromancer, Bowmaster, and then also like the mana you make from Nissa is like kind of fine. All right, so let's see if they kill my Saga in response to the trigger. I guess it doesn't actually make sense to warp the Emissary here, huh? The problem is they're probably gonna kill my weapons. I guess we'll just have to be kind of okay with that if it happens. Okay, great. So remember, you can kill Urza Saga in response to the chapter trigger here so that it never... so it doesn't have the ability to tap for a mana on this kind of spot. Speaking of Nissa, the 5-mana Planeswalker you've been tinkered with in a recent deck performed better than expected. Is it good enough to revisit older decks to see if she has more homes? I mean, I feel like I kind of have a little bit, or at the very least, I think Nissa is good in the Badger Bowl decks, and that's kind of the end of the list, where I think Nissa's got potential. I feel like we've kind of fleshed those out really well at this point. Okay, they flip over another Mire. Thank you, Ragavan. 4 cards in their hand. Okay. So they're set up pretty well to escape the Flage. I like that the explosives kills these 2 at least. Best draws, Rottenmouth Viper. Alright, so I guess we go Warp, Pinnacle Emissary, then sack the explosives. Which kills their board, but they're a fetch land away from flaging me. We want to do this so that we don't kill our own Opal, too. Alright, your turn. Hopefully no fetch land. Looks at the camera. So an explosives or Claws of Gix kills Flage here. Did I miss chatting about Meek Attack? Seems like Opposition Agent or like some of the Kiki Jiki loops are the best. Potentially using a I dead on board, yeah. Potentially using a like Imperial Recruiter package to use it. Mr. Sarah, the 59 months. Thank you, welcome back. Hope you're doing well. All that stuff. But Bit of a bummer. I thought we were gonna get a little bit more action out of this. Okay, I slept really bad last night. Esther's been sick, and I've been up all night with her. So I think I'm actually gonna call the stream a little early again today. We've got Lorwyn coming out soon, so there's gonna be a lot of extra downtime stuff anyways. I don't feel bad about doing another slightly shorter stream today. Back tomorrow. I ended up putting May in the Death Shadow burn deck and ended up liking it a good bit, so we may be